Debt destroys lives. That statement is true, but it's incomplete because while millions of people drown in debt every year, a small minority quietly uses the same tool to accelerate wealth. Same word, same banks, same system. Completely different outcome. So the real question isn't whether debt is dangerous. It's this: who is it dangerous for? Stay with me, because once you see the distinction, you won't be able to unsee it. Most people make one critical mistake. They treat all debt as identical. But debt isn't one thing. It's two species. The first species consumes cash flow. Credit cards, car loans, buy now, pay later. It finances a lifestyle you haven't earned yet. Every payment moves money from your future into someone else's pocket. That debt shrinks you. The second species does the opposite. It finances assets. Assets that generate income. Assets that appreciate. Assets that outpace the cost of borrowing. That debt expands you. Same label, opposite direction. And most people were never taught to separate them. Not in school, not at home, not anywhere. Let's strip this down to numbers. Imagine two people, same age, same savings, same starting point. Both have $50,000. Person A puts it in a high-yield savings account at 4%. He earns $2,000 a year. Safe, predictable, slowly losing ground to inflation. Person B thinks differently. He uses that $50,000 to acquire a small laundromat, borrows another $50,000 to fully fund it. The business generates $14,000 annually. After $4,000 in loan costs, he keeps $10,000. Same starting money. Person A earns $2,000. Person B earns $10,000. The difference isn't intelligence or luck. It's structure. And that structure is called leverage. But leverage doesn't create outcomes. It magnifies them. Strong returns compound faster. Weak returns collapse harder. The wealthy engineer it, not gamble with it. Cash reserves, conservative projections, defined downside limits. They only move when upside significantly outweighs worst-case scenario. That's not boldness, that's precision. Now watch what this looks like when there are no limits on the capital. When billionaires need liquidity, they don't sell assets. Selling triggers taxes, sometimes 20, 30, even 40% gone. So instead, they do something most people don't even know is possible. They borrow against what they already own: shares, real estate, private equity. The bank lends against collateral. It's a loan, not income, so it isn't taxed as income. Their assets keep appreciating. They deploy borrowed capital into new positions. If returns exceed interest, net worth grows quietly, systematically, year after year. This framework has a name: buy, borrow, die. Buy appreciating assets, borrow against them for liquidity, hold until death when tax rules in many cases reset the valuation entirely. Their heirs inherit the wealth. The income tax on decades of growth? In many cases, never paid. It's not a secret. It's not a loophole. It's structural design, written into the system. And it has been used by some of the most recognizable names in business for decades. So why doesn't everyone operate this way? Because debt feels like danger. Neurologically, owing money activates the same threat circuitry as physical risk. It produces stress, urgency, avoidance. Your brain doesn't categorize debt as strategic. It categorizes it as exposure. So when you eliminate debt, you feel relief. And that relief is real. But relief and growth are not the same thing. While one person celebrates a zero balance, another just qualified for leverage on an income-producing asset. One optimized for comfort, the other optimized for expansion. That psychological divide, not income, not education, not opportunity, explains far more about individual financial trajectories than most people are comfortable admitting. The wealthy didn't overcome fear by being fearless. They overcame it by making the math loud enough to drown out the emotion. So what does this mean practically? 1. Destroy consumer debt aggressively. It compounds against you every single day. Treat it like a financial emergency. 2. Study productive debt clinically. What is the borrowing cost? What is the expected return? What does the worst case scenario look like? If the math works clearly in your favor, it deserves serious consideration. 3. Never use leverage without margin for error. If a deal only works under perfect conditions, it's fragile. The wealthy don't chase fragile. They pursue positions where upside significantly outweighs downside, where even a bad outcome is survivable. Debt is not good or bad. It is a multiplier, and multipliers amplify whatever foundation you stand on. Build the foundation first, then decide how much to multiply. Most people spend their lives trying to escape debt. The wealthy spend their lives qualifying for the right kind. That difference, applied consistently over decades, changes the entire trajectory of a life. Subscribe. I'll see you there.